This is your WGBW Daily News Roundup for the Talk of Green Bay, 97.9 FM and 1590 AM.
Civic Media News, I'm Terry Bell. Here's what Wisconsin needs to know. A pair of redistricting experts is billing the state $128,000 for the work they did for the Wisconsin Supreme Court. About half of the bill will be paid by taxpayers. The rest will be covered by the 6 parties in the case, including 3 groups funded by private lawyers. The case was effectively closed when Governor Evers enacted new maps last week. Much of southern Wisconsin is going on a wild weather ride today, starting with possible record-high temperatures, then snow, strong storms, and bitter cold. Today starts as mild as yesterday. High temperatures should reach the 60s and even the low 70s. Things take a turn starting at about 6 o'clock tonight with a chance of severe weather. Wisconsin wildlife officials say the danger for wildfires is high. Much of the state hasn't been under several inches of snow since January. Department of Natural Resources wardens say warmer than normal temperatures, low humidity, breezy conditions, and dry vegetation all add to the problem. Last weekend, the DNR responded to 15 wildfires that burned 30 acres. Nearly all wildfires in Wisconsin are caused by people. We're near the end of Black History Month, first proclaimed by President Reagan in 1986. He said Black history had a rightful place in American schools. Senator LaTanya Johnson says she's dismayed by the change in tone from Wisconsin Republicans.
It's so far away from that. We see so many attacks on minorities in that building.
Johnson speaking to the Wisconsin Eye Public Affairs Channel. 413 high school students will get hands-on training in 4 new possible career paths this year. Business administration and education were added to the Wisconsin Youth Apprenticeship Program last fall. Students take 1 or 2 years to take classes about their chosen field while getting experience outside the classroom. More than 8,000 students signed up for apprenticeships in Wisconsin last school year. I'm Terry Bell, Civic Media News. Now, here's what you need to know closer to home.
For WISS WGBW News, I'm Lisa Hale. Laura Leighton Warren resigned her position as a trustee on the Green Bay Board of Education this week, effective immediately. In a statement sent to the school board and posted on her Facebook page, Leighton Warren says she wants to spend time and energy in areas where she can have a more impactful role in effecting positive change in the community. Leighton Warren is a member of the Oneida Nation and was the only person of color on the school board. Meanwhile, for over 2 hours, several dozen members of the community spoke with the Green Bay School Board in an open forum last night, asking them to reinstate Claude Tiller Jr. as superintendent. Before the open forum, the board entered to a closed session to discuss the hiring of an interim superintendent. Tiller resigned after being put on administrative leave while the board reviewed his appearance and comments on an Atlanta radio show. The search for a missing toddler in Manitowoc County enters week 2. The Two Rivers Police Department is searching waterways and landfills and says it will continue to follow up on tips and leads 24 hours a day in the search for 3-year-old Elijah Vu. They are asking not only Two Rivers residents, but everyone to check areas where a child could be. Officials are also warning about scams from third parties who are seeking money from people touched by the tragedy. Christina Bauer, the mother of the missing 3-year-old Elijah Vu, was formally charged with child neglect and obstruction on Monday. Jesse Vang, who prosecutors said had the boy for, quote, disciplinary reasons, has also been formally charged with child neglect. Preliminary hearings for both have been set for March 7th. A Green Bay teen who took her mother's car on a joyride, then crashed the car while she was driving over 110 miles per hour, killing her passenger, is convicted of second-degree reckless homicide and recklessly endangering safety following a guilty plea entered Monday. Sienna Paycor was 15 at the time of the accident, but was tried in adult court. Sentencing is set for April 12th. Fewer than 500 sturgeon were harvested on the Lake Winnebago system this year. Warm weather led to iffy ice when the season opened February 10th. Neenah, Stockbridge, and Quinney registration stations were closed for the majority of the season, but Lake Winnebago and the Upriver Lake stations were open for the full 16 days. Green Bay is celebrating its 170th anniversary during the City of Green Bay's Founders Day celebration today. Mayor Eric Genrich says that the event tonight in the historical Hotel Northland celebrates the beauty and history of Green Bay.
But the program is going to be pretty casual. Just looking forward to getting together and celebrating a lot of great history.
The Green Bay Beautification Awards will also be given out during the event tonight. And that's what you need to know. I'm Lisa Hale, WISS WGBW News.
Mostly sunny today with a high of 64 this afternoon. That high will happen early this afternoon with temperatures dropping a bit by later today. Wind out of the south at 5 to 15. Rain and snow showers tonight. Less than an inch of accumulation. Our low 17 tomorrow. Sunny 25. We'll bounce back Thursday with sunshine and a high near 40. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Current temp now 37.
It's the Bucks and the Hornets tonight. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. The Bucks are back home, and what Giannis says seems like forever, taking on the Charlotte Hornets.
Going home now. I feel like we've been on the road for so long. Play against Charlotte. They're a tough team, young team, play fast, very, scrappy, crafty players. Dangerous team. We have to respect them and play good basketball, play hard like we did. Hopefully we can get a win.
Bucks forward Bobby Portis.
The second half of the season, it's a sprint right now. 24 games left, and we had 26 after the break. Every game starts to matter.
Head coach Doc Rivers says he's finally seeing improvement on defense.
I think our guys, playing both ends is exhausting, and it was taken away from our offense a little bit. I think their conditioning is starting to catch up. You can see that. Last 3-4 games we've been terrific. This team, because you have a Giannis on your team, if you can get stopped, you can get in transition. Giannis in transition is a problem for everybody.
College hoops, the Wisconsin Badgers in Indiana to take on the Hoosiers. Baseball, the Brewers losing to the Reds 8-3. Tomorrow, they'll host Craig Counsell and the Chicago Cubs. So many new players on the Brewers roster, but Christian Yelich says,
I definitely think we're going to be a competitive team this year. Even when we've been good the last few years, no one ever picks us to be good, just because, we're the Brewers and it is what it is. But I think that we have a chance to really surprise some people with the talent in this room. We usually always find a way to be competitive and be there at the end and give ourselves a chance. So you never know what's going to happen over 162 games, the 6-month season. There's a lot of ups and downs. There's going into it. There's going to be great times. There's going to be stretches where it gets really tough and rough, and you just have to just put your head down and keep going. We've done a really good job of that.
We're in Indy to cover the NFL Scouting Combine getting underway today. Over 320 of the top players in college football are here. Will running back Aaron Jones be back with the Pack?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we'd love to have Aaron back. We're still kind of putting all those things together as far as how we're going to move forward. But, that's kind of the anticipation is that he'll be back.
That's Packers GM Brian Gutekunst. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
I'm Pete with the 60-second Showbiz Beat. ScreenRant.com calls the Best Actor category the most competitive at this year's Academy Awards. The site says the award will most likely go to Oppenheimer's Cillian Murphy, but that Paul Giamatti's performance in The Holdovers could position him for an upset. Bradley Cooper, Jeffrey Wright, and Coleman Domingo round out the Best Actor category. This year's Oscars are March 10th. Sylvester Stallone says he and wife Jennifer Flavin have made it official and will move the family, which includes their kids, 3 grown daughters who no longer live at home, to Florida. Flavin says she needed a change and has too many memories at their California home and wanted a fresh start. Sylvester Stallone says the decision to move to Florida will be beneficial to his creativity. There's no way he could write Rocky 21 or The Expendables 11 in California. Right like the wind, Sly. For more showbiz fun, tune into Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, every night between 7 and 9 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network. In case you were worried, Wisconsin is well represented on the show Actor with a Pickup Truck Needs to Go on TV to Meet Girls, also known as Farmer Wants a Wife. Thanks to her Midwestern charm, 24-year-old Grace Gerard of Caledonia, Wisconsin, has apparently been getting the big eye from TV farmer Brandon Rogers on Fox's, quote, reality, end quote, show. Rogers chose Gerard for a solo date on last week's episode, saying he was hoping for a drama-free evening, which is the exact opposite reason people tune into reality TV. Good luck, Grace. It's been 9 years, but Downton Abbey fans might get another dose of the show they treasure. According to Collider.com, a 7th season could be on the way. The new season would follow 2 wildly successful feature films about the Crowley family and their staff. The show has not been on for 9 years, and it's been about 7 years since I've been asked, "You've really never seen Downton Abbey?" Once again, the pressure is on, and I will have to check it out. Bob Marley One Love dominated the box office for a second weekend in a row. The film pulled in $14 million over the weekend and totals $71 million overall. Reviews were lukewarm, but that's not stopping people from checking out the legendary reggae singer. Meanwhile, Ethan Coen's effort without his brother Joel, Drive-Away Dolls, finished in a disappointing 8th place behind Wonka, a film that has been in theaters for almost 3 months. And in Now You've Ruined It news, Gwen Stefani says she can no longer listen to No Doubt songs, and that doing so makes her want to throw up in her mouth. She is now married to country singer Blake Shelton, but says the old songs remind her of past relationships, which include a former bandmate and Gavin Rossdale from Bush, with whom she has 3 children. Shelton must be flattered he doesn't make his wife hurl in her own mouth yet. Don't worry, folks. Stefani says she still absolutely loves performing the songs live. Cha-ching. For more showbiz fun, tune in to Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, every night between 7 and 9 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
That's your WGBW Daily News Roundup from Civic Media. Subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you find your podcasts. Find more news at WGBW.FM.